Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. All right, so Eric Adams, we've all been getting on him, Brandon Johnson, and anybody else who's a sanctuary city for not, for still trying to stick to the status quo, still trying to stick Democrat, sticking along party lines, trying to blame the Republicans, specifically Greg Abbott, for the migrant crisis in America. But Greg Abbott, shout out to him, is like, look, your president wants my president closed, make sure the borders were closed, and you had to go through a lot of scrutiny to get in and face prosecution if you get caught. Your president said we're going to undo everything that Donald Trump did because we just don't like Donald Trump. Which in turn created a problem because now you're opening borders and everybody and their mama from across over 150 countries from what I last heard. I know I did a video about where everybody's coming, where it's a link you can click on and you can see where everybody's coming from. And it's a lot of countries, man, a lot of countries. But anyway, people come from all over the world, coming through the border, south of the border, people coming over mountains. I mean, it's crazy, coming off of water. But they're coming to America seeking asylum, right? And you have these cities that say, they try to get on TV and boldly say, well, we'll be sanctuary cities. They can come here and we'll take care of them. We'll house them. We'll help them get citizenship and jobs because they're trying to run from a bad place and trying to go to somewhere better for their families. All the while, you got hundreds of thousands, even millions of people, of American citizens, including veterans, including college graduates with degrees, with big degrees, making good money but can't afford to buy a decent place to live. You have them on the streets. You don't have them in all them shelters. All these hundreds of thousands of migrants that you have in your cities, you made shelters for them. You open hotels for them. You broke down, tore down, run down, shut down schools for them. But you couldn't do it for your own people. And this article I'm about to get into is going to kind of explain that, because I think they can explain it a little better than I could. Well, actually, Eric Adams is going to say it a little better than I could. He's going to give up the game, y'all, so y'all can understand why these migrants are coming here. But yeah, y'all want to get mad at Greg Abbott? And then they say, okay, you want to be sanctuary cities? I'm going to send them up there because we're not going to take in 10 million illegal immigrants. Not going to do it. Can't do it. It will bankrupt our state, which is probably what you want to do because it's the big one, one of the 2-3 biggest states in the country next to California and Alaska. Ain't nobody going to live in Alaska, and people leaving California. So where they gonna go? Texas. Matter of fact, Greg Abbott done put some laws and rules in place where some of these places that the migrants usually cross, they ain't got nobody crossing. And you got states who are rallying behind him and say, hey, we're gonna support him. We're gonna send troops down there to help him with that because we don't want them up here. We don't want, because regardless if they committing crimes or trying to become citizens, look, they taking money. We thought we could have sworn we didn't have money for all these programs y'all took away. Could have sworn we didn't have money for the homeless and the drug addicts and stuff like that. But all of a sudden, yeah, you got money to send overseas to fight wars on both sides. And now you got money to take in people who crossing the border illegally, and you're gonna accept them? No, you're gonna bankrupt our city, and that is not gonna happen under my watch. Folks are not trying to lose money, and everybody is feeling it. So yeah, we've been on them for a while. So now Eric Adams is coming out with another round of splaining. Don't forget, he got 3 people they got raided and investigated that contributed to his campaign, and thinking that he got money illegally from Turkey or something like that. Anyway, that's another story. But let's get into this, man. This is from the WashingtonExaminer.com, and they read Eric Adams defends using taxpayer dollars to give immigrants debit cards. All right. It said New York City Mayor Eric Adams defended his policy that uses taxpayer dollars to fund debit cards for immigrants as a cost-effective measure of responsibility. The reason, quote, the reason it's created such controversy is because how it has been reported and distorted, Adams told CNBC on Friday. We are required to feed migrants and asylum seekers, as well as everyone else in our homeless system. About 40,000 are in the homeless system that are not migrants and asylum seekers. That's great. So that's cool. But here's what you're missing. If you have 20,000 migrants in your city that you took in, that's 20,000 shelter beds and 20,000 other people that you can feed who are citizens in your city. Because you still have homeless people out there on the streets. And there are people who have reported that, saying that New York is full of homeless people on the streets. Why are you not making sure that they're taken care of? Not just when it's cold and the weather's bad, but in Christmas and Thanksgiving, but year round. I'm not really understand. Well, I do understand. Like I said, we'll get to it. But again, the only reason why you giving these migrants these beds is because you a sanctuary city. See, you did not think, you and Brandon John, no one in New York, no one in Chicago, no one in these sanctuary cities thought that there would be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of migrants being brought to your city from Texas by way of the governor. Y'all didn't think that. Y'all just got up there talking about, oh, we'll be a sanctuary city. If y'all don't want to be a sanctuary city, you're not American. You don't care about the immigrants. You know this country is built on immigration, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, there you go. It's just a money thing. Texas ain't trying to go bankrupt. Not at all. And we don't know, so we think them people coming across the border, they supposed to be prosecuted because it's illegal. They doing it illegal. That's bottom line. Nothing more, nothing less. Doing it illegal, doggone it. He continues, we're required to feed them. And so what I told the team to do is we had to find a way to do this less costly, because we're in a 30% decrease in the course of the migrants crisis, and that we don't have food waste. Through the program, New York City has managed to save money, Adams said. We're saving approximately $600,000 a month, $2.7 million a year by giving individuals a card that allows them to buy food or baby supplies, spending $13 a day on food. That's cheaper. That's less food waste. This is a real win-win for us. Not really, because it's a losing situation. It's only going to last so long. It's kind of like, I remember started working, what am I, 25, 26 years ago, working at a warehouse and making $8 an hour, $10 an hour, whatever. And we had these meetings every year about insurance enrollment. Now, shoot, back in the day, man, insurance for a warehouse worker, man, that stuff was chill. I mean, it was cheap, good benefits and everything. You had like 5 or 6 plans you can get in, you can sign up for and everything. Now, working in the medical field, it's like 3 plans, that's it, take it or leave it. And it's a bronze, silver, and a gold package. That's it. And it's all a bunch of it. And it costs out the wazoo. But anyway, I'm working at the warehouse, and each year they come up with these plans. I'm sitting here thinking, and retirement plans and stuff like that, I'm sitting here thinking, man, something ain't right. Now, I'm like 19, 20, 21 years old. Like, y'all know insurance go up every year by so much, but we only get like 2 and 3% raises. It say eventually that insurance is going to catch up to the wages to where you're working. You're going to be working only for insurance in a few years. And fast forward, and that's what it seems like now. Insurance is high as the son of a gun. These people got to work a job just so they can pay insurance on their other job. So this is like in that same frame is eventually, yeah, you paying money, you saving money, but you still spending. Like, let's say you were spending this much. All right, so now you saving this much. okay, it's a win because you're spending less, but eventually it's still gonna catch up to it. You're gonna catch up with each other, and you're gonna be at zero, or you're gonna be in the red, and you're gonna be bankrupt. It's unsustainable no matter what you do to try to curb some of the costs. It's unsustainable in the long run. And as fast as these migrants are coming, it won't take long before the country is financially in ruin. So we already in trillions and trillions of dollars of debt. Why in the heck? Why would you add more? So no, it's not a win-win situation. Money spent by the migrants will benefit New York City's economy, the mayor said. Now here's where the little point I wanted to make that I want y'all to pay attention to. The money will go into the local economy, because now we're going to the local stores, supermarkets, where we're going to hire local, Adams said. This is a smart way to bring down the cost and replace the money back into our city. So here's the thing. We talk about things like I'm saying about giving money to the homeless Americans. Even talk about reparations. And why would they send money to Ukraine and Israel and stuff like that? I read an article to where a guy said that the money that they send over there, they get like 60% of it back. Like they'll send money over there, but then they'll like build these weapons, okay? And Ukraine and Israel will buy the weapons from America. See what I'm saying? It's a throw it off circle that us common folk really don't understand. You have to be like in a higher upper echelon of money, understand how money works, like really works, to get the gist of it. They send money there, but they build weapons, and then they'll buy weapons from us. We get the money back while they fight a war and hopefully win. Sell more money, sell weapons to Ukraine, Russia, Israel, whoever, Al-Qaeda, whoever. That's how they make money. Military. That's why they say war is money. That's why I felt like that's one of the reasons why they was mad at Trump, because Trump stopped all that. Trump took troops out of places, brought them back home. There was no new wars in 4 years, and I believe that the higher ups in America, in the government and in the money, was upset about that, because without war, the money, for some reason, the money depletes. And so now you got to find other ways to make money, which is what I feel that President Trump is trying to do. So my thing is, when they spend money, money has to come back. Now, there are a lot of Black Americans that we say that if we get reparations, we gonna do it to build more wealth, to create, communities for ourselves and try to sustain ourselves. The thing about it is, it sounds good on paper, but in the long run, that is not really sustainable, because unless you control industries, your money can circulate in your town or your people all at once, but it's not going to grow because you're not creating or producing anything. You're still consuming from outside. You have all this money, but you're still buying cars from Japan or Germany. You got all this money, but you're still buying clothes from Italy, linen, fabrics and linens and clothes from like Italy and France and China or what have you. I think one of the main things you could do is probably, create. You had to create like industry, like create fabrics, be able to start farms and control, not necessarily control, but have a leg in like farming and certain produce made. You have to, have that kind of power. Take a look at to make it even more simpler, the music business, entertainment business, that a lot of, so we got rappers and singers signed to these record labels, and then they say, okay, well, we're going to not sign the record labels. We're going to put our own music out. I think the problem was distribution. You can make independent records, and record labels get upset. Remember they want to stop Napster and LimeWire from peer to peer because record labels weren't making any money. It wasn't really the record labels; it was the distribution companies. That's what like Suge Knight, who was that? Oh boy with Murder Inc. And God was his name? Gotti, one of Irv Gotti, and Lil J Prince down there in Houston. They wanted to start a distribution company for themselves where they, manufacture music, and put out black music artists. That was a threat. To me, I think that's why they got shut down or got investigated and put back where they belong, to say it nicely, because the powers that be weren't gonna let you have that. And that's where your problem is with us getting a lot of money. Now, don't get me wrong, again, reparation check, I'll be one of the first in lines. Or I'll be sitting home waiting on my check. Or do whatever. Or go wherever I gotta go to go get it. Whatever the case may be. But like I say, as a community, like I say, we'll get rich, we'll get money, but eventually that money, it can stay the same, but it's not gonna really close a racial wealth gap, because as long as everything stays the same. Now again, I said once, I say it again, time comes with change, and change comes with time. As long as things stay like it is, like the status quo, the racial wealth gap will never diminish, which is why I also say that shouldn't really be a topic of discussion when it comes to our people. What we want to try to do as individuals, try to put ourselves in a position to become wealthy and help our family become wealthy. Scriptures tell you do that. I don't care what your race and nationality is. You got to leave something for your offsprings so they can build off of. You teach them, you train them so they can build off of it. That's the biblical way. But if there's no money coming, if all the money is circulating and going out, like I say, eventually you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it all because you're not creating anything. You're not controlling anything. You can't, there's only so many candles and body oils that you can sell before it's like, there's a ceiling. But now if you are the one who manufacturing the product, the ingredients in the products, and you're the one who making the glass jars, not buying glass jars from China and having them shipped in and filling them up with your products. If you got a glass jar making company and you have a way to get the sand and the materials to make it, there you go. If you are selling water and you are the one who is bottling it from the stream, the natural spring, you are bottling it and you are manufacturing and distributing it across the country, across the world. Now you have, control of something. And so money will always come in, rarely go out. And then things, your community and your economy will grow. So that's how it works. But anyway, so what Eric Adams was saying about money coming in, they're using money. I mean, the migrants coming in and it is a boost for the economy. Here's the thing. The federal government will give them money, or they have money. You got certain set aside for certain things. But if you got money, certain things, this is why like a lot of times you get like local politicians and local organizations stuff get in trouble because they had this money set aside for certain things, but there's a surplus. And so the money's just sitting there. And so people get greedy and hands get itchy, palms start sweating, want to find a reason to use that money, but they can't because it's sitting there. So here you go. You got money set aside for asylum seekers. because you're a sanctuary city, but you can't touch that money. You got schools over here closing because there's no money in the budget, not enough money in the budget, and the federal government is not sending you money for schools. So you're not, because why? Because your kids ain't learning, your teachers are quitting, your kids are bad as hell, your parents ain't raising your kids right. The schools can't punish or discipline kids at all. Kids get away with stuff, so now ain't no learning. Things are going to hell in the handbasket, so schools eventually close. And the feds ain't sending you the money because they can't pass no tests. Hell, there's one doggone video I saw where they saying like half the students in the 4th grade in Texas can't pass a STAR test. You know what I'm saying? Why? But they say there's still a light in the tunnel. Man, please. There is no light. If it is, it's the light of hell, the lake of fire. That's the light you see down there. But anyway, so what are you gonna do? You got all this money, this school money still there, but you can't get your hands on it because you don't have enough students. And it's like a lot of students are not going to school. Like in Fort Worth, they saying that there are more people in Fort Worth, but where the kids at? Well, people ain't really having kids, or like where they going? None of the kids in the schools are thinking about closing schools down. So what do? You bring in migrants. You bring in their children and say, hey, they need somewhere to go to school at. So maybe this will help revamp the program, get us our money back, at least temporarily. We'll try to teach them English. We get money for that. So they be bilingual. We get money for that. And then they can pass these tests. We get money for that. That's what the migrants do. Illegal or not. Okay, they come in, they in the court system. Well, we need money for courts. You know what I'm saying? We get money for that. Put them in jail. You get money for that. If they get jobs, okay, they making money. We getting, taxes. Taxes going back to the city, the state, and the Fed. We get money for that. Money come in, money go out. Whether we like it or not, that's how money works. That's how big money works. But all the while, you hurting the citizens, the regular citizens right now. You displacing us right now. And you don't care if I'm sure y'all hope that we can go along with the ride and survive. But if we don't, hey, it is what it is, because the bottom line is always money. And in any business, the bottom line is making money. I told you, I'm in the nursing field. I've been in management. When you get on the management side, when you get from the floor to the management side and you really have compassion for them patients, you realize there's a conflict of interest, because they'll tell you one thing, but bottom line is the higher ups gotta make $1, or we can't stand in business. And we can't knock them for that because it's a business. That's the thing about it. Money is not unlimited. So we thought it was. But hell, it seems like America send money everywhere. But again, it's because money comes back. As long as it comes back and goes out and comes back, and they control some kind of industry or infrastructure, shoot, they'll do it all day. And that's why the poor get poor and the rich get richer. It's just a dirty game, man. It's just a dirty game that we just pawns in it, and we don't really understand it. But it is what it is. But hey, back to what I was saying. Eric Adams. Time to vote this man out. If y'all in New York, y'all Chicago, you vote them Democrats, you turn red, turn green, turn whatever. Just get rid of the blue, because they're not really concerned with the citizens of today. Like I said, but once you realize how money works, this is why you have to do what you got to do to get your family, your situation straight. Because if you're not going to school, if you're not learning, if you're not trying to start a business, if you're not trying to maximize your potential, you will get left behind. You have to pay attention to the news. You have to pay attention to what the education sector, everything. Because manual labor jobs, and I did a video on this thing years ago saying like manual labor jobs, man, they're going to go, and everybody can see it. And because you got robots as waiters and waitresses. You got robotic, look at the damn car wash. You know what I'm saying? You got a guy sitting there scrubbing the front and the back of you to do a piss poor job of that. But your car runs through a car wash in a matter of like 2-3 minutes and you're out. You know what I'm saying? You can't get a human to do that. But I prefer a detail shop. You know what I'm saying? You got what they call the flippy, the little hands that flip burgers and make fries. And that's in a lot of fast food places now, and stadiums, in kiosks, in McDonald's, and things like that. That is taking your job. If you're not staying ahead, yeah, these migrants come in and work for little or nothing, because you know that what they're gonna get paid ain't right, and how hard they're gonna work you to death and not pay you anything. That's anywhere. So what do? You can sit there and complain about it, right? Or you play the game. You play the game until you can figure out how to win, win some moves in the game, and hopefully win the game in the end. But you're just trying to stay up. Ain't nobody saying sell out, kiss butt. I ain't saying none of that. It's just that you work. You get out there and you work. You work, go to a job or work. And when you're away from the job, you educate yourself and you educate your kids. And you make sure they busting their tail and working hard, because we will all get left behind if we do not pay attention and stay on course and stay steps ahead of everybody else. But anyway, that's all I got for this story, man. Hey, tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. Hey, let's dialogue. You know how we do it here. And also, don't forget to support the channel. Like, share, comment, shares and likes and subscriptions. That's a great way to support too. And also, you can go down to the description box. There are links you can click on and also support the channel. But anyway, with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.